The pain of paying. Why cash feels more expensive than credit cards. On a quiet Saturday afternoon in London, a young professional named Daniel walked into a small electronics shop determined to buy a pair of premium headphones. He had done his research, compared reviews, and saved carefully for weeks. The price was £180. He had exactly £200 in crisp notes folded neatly in his wallet. When the cashier rang up the total, Daniel hesitated. He could feel the money in his hand. He imagined the effort behind it, the overtime hours, the early mornings, the skipped takeaways. Handing over those notes felt heavier than the paper itself. In that moment, the headphones seemed more expensive than they had online. The cost felt real, immediate, and personal. Daniel paused, reconsidered, and left the store without buying them. 2 weeks later, he ordered the same headphones online. This time, he used his credit card. There was no physical exchange, no visible loss, just a tap and a confirmation email. The £180 felt smaller, almost abstract. The headphones arrived 2 days later, and Daniel barely remembered the financial hesitation he had felt in the shop. Why cash hurts more? Daniel's experience illustrates a powerful behavioral finance principle known as the pain of paying. When we use cash, we physically part with money. We see it leave our hands. The transaction creates a psychological discomfort that forces us to confront the cost. Credit cards, on the other hand, separate the purchase from the payment. The delay between buying and paying reduces emotional friction. The money does not visibly disappear. Instead, it accumulates quietly on a statement that arrives weeks later. This emotional buffer makes spending easier and often more frequent. The hidden cost of convenience. The shift from cash to digital payments has transformed consumer behavior worldwide. In highly card-dependent cities like New York City, small purchases from coffee to taxis happen almost unconsciously. The tap-to-pay culture minimizes reflection. Research consistently shows that consumers tend to spend more when paying with credit cards compared to cash. The effect compounds over time. A £5 coffee feels insignificant on a card, but repeated daily, it becomes £150 a month. Without the tactile reminder of money leaving our wallet, small expenses blend into the background. How it changes our habits. The pain of paying acts as a natural spending regulator. Cash users often budget more deliberately. They see limits physically shrinking, which encourages prioritization. Credit card users, however, may rely on available credit as a signal of affordability. If the limit remains untouched, the brain interprets it as financial room, even if the future bill will be uncomfortable. Over time, this reduced friction can normalize higher spending levels. What once felt like a luxury becomes routine. A practical reflection. Daniel eventually realized something important. It wasn't that the headphones were cheaper online, it was that the payment method altered his perception of value. The lesson is not that credit cards are harmful. They offer security, rewards, and convenience, but they quietly reshape how we experience cost. Understanding the pain of paying gives us an advantage. By reintroducing small moments of friction, checking balances before purchases, using cash for discretionary spending, or setting tighter card limits, we restore awareness. Because in the end, money does not become less expensive simply because it feels that way.